This is Jeff Pospisil, the 10-Minute Treasurer, with practical advice for improving your church's financial future. And we're going to talk about what is an endowment and how does it work. I'm a great believer in endowments. I think they're a great way to make a lasting, impactful gift to churches. But I want to talk about that this video. All right. First of all, I want to liken a endowment to a rain barrel. A rain barrel is made to collect the unpredictable rainfall and collect it through your downspout so that you can use it in a predictable way. So the rain may come, heavy for a season, and then you won't see any for a while, but you'll be able to draw off a regular amount to water your flowers or whatever it is. An endowment is like that. The initial gift is basically setting up that barrel, and from that you are going to collect the unpredictable investment returns, and you're going to draw those down in a very predictable way. You're going to be able to use those in a very predictable way because the investment returns, they can be negative one year and 14, 15, 20% the next year. You don't know. But the endowment allows you to collect those investment returns and use them in a very systematic and predictable way. One of the great things also about an endowment is it allows the donor to provide direction to that gift. This is one of those things where you need to talk with the church about, but it provides direction. You get to say, this is what I'm passionate about, and hopefully you've had conversations with the church where the church has said, in the next 10, 15, 20, 50 years, this is what's going to be important for us, or that we believe will be important for us. So that way you can align your passion for the church with the church's vision. One of the practical ways I've seen this is with the Lynch Trust. 90 years ago or so, Frank Lynch passed away, and he left a tremendous gift to the Dakotas. Actually, it was the North Dakota Conference at that time. Anyway, it was for worn out pastors. And he said it in a way that the wording was in a way that gave great latitude to support retired pastors. And it wasn't so restricted in a way that it would become outdated or overly restricted to where it wouldn't be as appreciated anymore. It was trusting the leadership of the conference at that time to use this in the best way to support retired North Dakota pastors. And that's what you want for your gift too. If you're making an endowed gift, how can I make it in a way that it will always be appreciated, always be a blessing, but still have the direction that I want that goes with the passion that I have? One of the things I love about an endowment is that it is recorded. And I love this quote by Harvey Mackay, and it says, "Pale ink is better than the most retentive memory. If it is written down, you can look it up. Just be darn sure you write it down." One of the mistakes that I see a lot of churches make is that they'll receive a restricted gift and nobody writes it down. And especially for an endowment, which is really a permanent gift where you're just drawing off the earnings in a systematic way, that becomes a significant problem. I mean, you go through a graveyard, guess what? You're going to see a lot of people that are forgotten over 10, 15, 20 years. And that's the same way with the donor intent. It is easily forgotten if you don't have somebody that has documented that and is managing that donor intent. And a properly managed endowment does that. It records that, and it has a way of reminding people of what that donor intent is. So another thing to think about is, what is the cost of what you're trying to support? So for example, let's just say we're talking about camp scholarships, and your church normally budgets $1,000 for camp scholarships, or they try to raise $1,000 for camp scholarships every year. So how much should you set aside for an endowment to support camp scholarships? Well, the rule of thumb is 20 times whatever you need for the annual need. So in this case, if it's $1,000, $20,000. And if a properly managed endowment, that'll grow over time. That $1,000 distribution should grow over time so that as inflation happens, um, the distribution is increasing at the same time. So just want to keep that in mind, is that whatever the annual need is, an endowment should normally be, as a rule of thumb, 20 times that amount. Um, so who should care for the endowment? And you really have two choices here. One is the local church, and the other one is somebody that's a financial institution, usually a foundation. And I have the Dakotas United Methodist Foundation, but it could be whatever it is for your denomination or conference, or a community foundation like the North Dakota or South Dakota Community Foundation. Those are all built around managing estate gifts or endowment gifts. So, which one should you choose? And I would say 10 times out of 10, I would not choose the local church. And nothing against the local church. I love the local church. But their mission is making disciples of Jesus Christ. And it is not managing money, investing money. I'll say it that way. They are totally focused on making disciples of Jesus Christ, or they should be, and deepening those disciples in Christ. And a lot of times what I see is a church, you know, they'll get distracted by trying to remember how that money should be used and how to invest that money. And that becomes such a draw of their time and energy that it actually hurts their mission. You know, and even if, let's just say you have great people now, an endowed gift is a perpetual gift. I mean, it's going to go on for 20, 50, 100 years, and you know, until Jesus Christ comes back, if or until the country ends or whatever it is. But anyway, it's going to go on for a long time. So the great people you have now, you might not have people with the skills to properly manage and care for that endowed gift in the future. So that's why I discourage giving it directly to the church, but I'd rather give it to a foundation. And the Dakotas United Methodist Foundation is a great foundation. They serve anybody that serves as a Wesleyan connection, and that is their mission. I mean, they want to connect the resources of donors to the mission. And part of that is caring for that donor intent and investing those monies wisely. I mean, that's the core of their business. This isn't a distraction for them. This is the core of their mission. So again, 10 times out of 10, I would invest in a foundation versus the church. And yeah, I just can't emphasize that enough. I just have seen it happen so often where it'll go fine for a number of years and then it goes sideways, and it's a pain for the church to figure out. And they don't get the benefit of what the donor wanted for the church from that gift. Okay, again, this is a ministry of the Dakotas United Methodist Conference's finance office, as well as the Dakotas United Methodist Foundation. And you can find more resources at www.dakotasumc.org. And you can also like and subscribe this video. If you want email notifications when there's a new video, I set up a blog. It's jctaccounting.com, and so you can find me there as well. And we're all about, again, Jesus Christ, our mission of making disciples and being connected as a family. All right, till next